music, we don't have a show off, as you know, with the blessings. There's another kind of music we can have show off, As with the blessings, we don't do it. He can do many things. But he doesn't do, which I can do many things, we don't do it. For the sake of music.
check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. हम सब, जय श्री माता जी, हम सब हृदय से श्री माता जी के श्री चरणों में प्रणाम करके कुंडलिनी उठाकर बंधन लेंगे। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी सरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
करा करुणा करा आलो तुझ्या मी मंदिरा हे ईश्वरा करुणा करा आलो तुझ्या मी मंदिरा चिंतामणी तव पूजनी चिंतामणी तव पूजनी घेऊनिया दुर्वांकुरा घेऊनिया दुर्वांकुरा संतुष्ट हो परदेवता संतुष्ट हो परदेवता तू जाग आपुल्या लौकिका तू जाग आपुल्या लौकिका गणनायका शुभदायका गणनायका शुभदायका देवाधिकांचा देव तू देवाधिकांचा देव तू सद्भावनांची ठेव तू सद्भावनांची ठेव तू या बालकांच्या प्रार्थनेसा जाण मंगल भाव तू या बालकांच्या प्रार्थनेचा जाण मंगल भाव तू मोरेश्वरा करुणा करा मोरेश्वरा करुणा करा घे धाव घे जगपालका घे धाव घे जगपालका गणनायका शुभदायका गणनायका शुभदायका अज्ञानमय तमनाशवी अन्यायकाली पाशवी अज्ञानमय तमनाशवी अन्यायकाली पाशवी तव तेज जगति उधळुनी तव तेज जगति उधळुनी मधुरा उषा तू हासवी मधुरा उषा तू हासवी तू मंगलाची देवता तू मंगलाची देवता दे अभय तव आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे। बहुत दिनन का भूला भटका, बहुत दिनन का भूला भटका। नीले श्री माँ चरण तिहारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे। निर्मल नाम पतित पावन है, निर्मल नाम पतित पावन है। जहूँ दिश गावत सब सहजन है, जहूँ दिश गावत सब सहजन है। इस अमृत से पावन होने, इस अमृत से पावन होने। नीले श्री माँ चरण तिहारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे। धन नहीं मांगू, मांगू न सकता, धन नहीं मांगू, मांगू न सकता। ढूंढी पथिक तेरे प्यार का रास्ता, धन नहीं मांगू, मांगू न सकता। ढूंढी पथिक तेरे प्यार का रास्ता। निर्मल छाव की ठंडी पुहर में, निर्मल छाव की ठंडी पुहर में। नीले श्री माँ चरण तिहारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे। भाग बड़ी तुमसे मन लागा, अंतर आत्मा तब से जागा। भाग बड़ी तुमसे मन लागा, अंतर आत्मा तब से जागा। सहजी कहे सुन अर्ज हमारे, सहजी कहे सुन अर्ज हमारे। नीले श्री माँ शरण तिहारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे। बहुत दिनन का भूला भटका, बहुत दिनन का भूला भटका। नीले श्री माँ चरण तिहारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे। तुम्हारे, आया हूँ दरबार तुम्हारे।
इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में अब हम श्री माता जी की अमृत वाणी सुनेंगे। In this meditative state, let us now listen to Shri Mataji's Amrit Vani.
What about diet? Can you give us some guidance?
Diet, all right. This diet theory is also coming from some horrible Brahmins, you see. Don't listen to them. They are the greatest Rakshasas ever born on this earth.
Means devils.
Devils. Rakshasas are monsters, you see. They eat like hell, they eat such a lot, and they always tell you don't do this and don't do that.
Don't eat sugar.
You can eat anything you like, except for don't eat the meat of animals which are bigger than you. I mean, otherwise you'll develop muscles, see, which will have funny contours and things. Eat animals which are smaller than, is the point is. And if you eat those animals, they do not also have much sense of compassion and all that. It's all right. They are just like vegetable sort of things. So it doesn't matter. You don't kill them. They are killed in the machine and all that. You have to eat that, and you need it. You have to eat. But that doesn't mean that if you are vegetarians, you should become non-vegetarian. It doesn't mean that. Whatever you eat, you can eat. It's not, eating is not going to change your spirit. Spirit doesn't eat. It does not. Makes no difference to the spirit, except that to your body, which is a lamp. So, if you have to keep the wick all right, you have to keep the lamp all right, and for that, don't eat anything that is a very big animal compared to yours. And cow's meat, for example, in India, they don't eat, because have you seen Indian cows? They're very gentle. And the cows are in the house, just like mother, they start giving milk to the children. They see every day they are taking the milk of the cow, so they develop a feeling, you see. And that's why they don't drink, you see. But it doesn't mean that if your Australian cows are, I don't think are like that, because what I have seen, they look like buffaloes to me sometimes. Like my granddaughter, she came to England and she asked me, grandmother, why the buffaloes in England are white? Yes, so it's all right, but you will come down on that. It will be different, you see, you will see gradually, but don't worry about it. Gradually everything drops out into very little things, you see, but you allow yourself to develop.
Eggs and things like that he was
Oh,
asking.
eggs you better have, lots of it. But if you have liver, it's not good to have eggs. Eggs is very heating. Pork is otherwise good, but not good for the people who have liver problems. You see, you must understand, every person is different. Now today I met a lady who is very left-sided. So I had to tell her, you eat pork, eggs, everything. You see, it is how you are. Even the Indian Ayurveda is like that. They want to know the prakriti, the character of a person, how he is. We have evolved from different types of animals. I saw the nocturnal ones. You see, the nocturnal ones must eat lot of meats. Those who have evolved from nocturnal side. You see, the left-sided, the ones who are afraid and frightened, and who are not egoistical at all, you see. Such types, they should take more meats and things, but those who are too much aggressive, better take to vegetables is better. Alright, now what's the question?
Does forgiveness stop the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer?
Sergio.
Does forgiveness stop the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer?
It does, absolutely. Absolutely. Sahaja is the thing that balances the society. Those who are poor become richer, and the rich understand that they must share. Willingly they start sharing their money. But you become really rich in a very miraculous manner. Now, there's a girl here, I would like her to tell you what happened to her. It's miraculous, but she's an Australian and she doesn't tell lies. You can see that very clearly, and she'll tell you what happened to her. Where is she gone? Cheryl? Come along. Is she here?
Well, you can tell her, Mum. You can tell
All right. No, let us tell. It's better she's Australian, they'll believe her more.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Huh?
He says,
You
"No,
don't.
we don't. You better
But never trust an Indian. That's even worse.
We'll trust you.
You know, some of the gurus have introduced some Indian bhoots, Indian spirits into English people, and Americans and also Europeans. And I find they behave just like Indians, you know. They cheat, they embezzle, they'll take away things, not the women. They'll not touch the women, you see. But they'll touch the things, they'll take away empty cans. It's typically Indian, you see. It's rather surprising. Yes, there are some. I've seen them like that. It's surprising to see such things happening to a Western person who behaves just like an Indian. Must be some possession of bhoots put by these gurus. So, if you believe me, then I can tell you what she's told. It's really miraculous, very miraculous. Cheryl was telling me that she wanted to come to India and she had no money. So her daughter was very anxious to come to India. and they didn't know what to do. They didn't have sufficient money. So they just said, Mother, we want to come to India. Can you arrange it for us? That's all. And it so happened that this girl had taken a trinket she had in the house, a bracelet, to the school for a sale. I mean, they have their feet all over. So she took that for the feet. And the teacher said, I think this is gold. She couldn't believe it. She brought it home and they got it valued. And they found that the price of the thing was equal to what they had to spend for both of them travels. But this is nothing. And then she got some money from somewhere in the house, somewhere, I don't know how, she got some money. And she didn't sell even the bracelet, and that's still there. She said, for the next trip, I said, I hope so, you sell it. May not. Like that, you see, things work out. Because your Lakshmi Tattva, your center of well-being gets enlightened. And then you are looked after. So many things happen. Like today they told me so many things of this kind happening to them. And I too, you see, when these people came in, I had told them, all right, you give me so much money, maybe required for your stay. They are very little, it was very little for them to be there in India. You see, after all, India is also now becoming very expensive. And when I went to India, I discovered it has become very expensive. Doesn't matter. I said, I put it in the bank. I said, let it be there. And anybody asked me, now that have it. You want it, have it. Now spend it. Go. And it was all right. I could manage. You see, that's what he did. And so many of them have done it. It's looked after. You go to right places. You get right things. Don't spend too much. Do not repent for spending. And you feel happy for whatever you have. You feel very joyous. Not worried about counting. But if you make a budget, you had it. You don't worry your head about budgeting, how much you are going to spend. You'll be surprised. You won't go to things which are unnecessary, useless, but you'll buy something that is very good. And ultimately these things will be very precious for you to sell. Many things have happened like that. Many things have happened. Yes?
You tell me why Australia is important for the future.
Why is Australia important for the future? Maybe about Shri Ganesh.
Only thing, I don't want to pamper the ego.
Is Australia blessed
Very much.
for the oncoming wars and things?
Very much blessed. It's a very much blessed place. Specially created. Australia was the first continent to be created. And if I dare to answer this question, I hope you'll believe me and not get into ego trips. Australia is a place which is described in the ancient Puranas that a great saint was sent to Australia and another heaven was created. And that saint is called as Trishanku, which is your south, what you call that is the
Southern Cross.
Southern Cross. That shows the Southern Cross, and you can only see Southern Cross from Australia. This is one of the Puranas, or the Vedas also have mentioned this. And even before that, Australia is the place which has the Ganesha. The first is the Muladhara Chakra. The first center is in Australia. How much wise you should be? Did you hear me?
She wanted your opinion about the Australian Aboriginals, the native people here that were born.
Black people.
Oh, they must have been good people to begin with. I'm sure of it. They must have been very good and holy people and nice people. But I think later on they deviated because of too much jungles and things, They started feeling the fear of the nature too much. They must have worshipped things which were good to begin with, and later on to some things like spirits and this. Moreover, the dead bodies, the way they disposed of, must have been something wrong. So maybe they might have gone into a left-sided action, into primitive ways of exciting these bhoots and things, spirits and spiritualism and all that. But in Australia must be the minimum. In Africa is horrible. African countries have too much of it. But it should be the minimum of minimum. Because you see, Ganesha's chakra is connected with the left side. You see, is more on the left side, isn't it? So also one can go drift more onto the left side. That's what it is. And even today I feel there's a kind of a lurking inferiority complex that works in Australians. They try to copy the West. There's nothing to copy there. They have nothing sensible. They have to learn from you. You see, this is a little inferiority complex we have, that all the best things are in the West. That's wrong. You are much better off in so many ways. At least you have not lost your moorings. So, I would not pass a general remark about any community as such, but there is a possibility that they can come up very well too. I mean, they can get out of all that left-sidedness. In India also we have big communities in the south where people have lived with too much ritualism and all that, and have taken to left-sided behavior of attracting, spirits and this and that, and giving those talismans and all that. They've done all that. They are doing, like witchcraft and witch doctors and all that. They must be doing it. But it can be cured. There's no problem. As the West people are overdeveloped and very ego-oriented and right-sided. Both are extreme cases, but you can correct. The people who are left-sided, it's easier because they have to move forward. But it's difficult for ego-oriented to move backwards. But if we can do that there, why not here? So nothing is lost, and one should not worry too much about these things. Human beings are just the same. Everybody has Kundalini, finished. As long as you have Kundalini, I have no problem.
To eat? Is there anything wrong with eating chilies?
No, it suits some people very much. Some people should have, those who suffer from colds, will be a good idea. Suffer from constipation is a good idea. But don't eat too much of anything. But it's good for some people. Something is good for some people, something is good for some people. You have to just find out. For people who get constipated, it is better to have little of green chilies all the time. It is very rich in vitamin C. It's very rich in vitamin C. It's good for people who catch colds very easily.
Do you know anything about the teaching called Mahikari?
I know.
There are a lot of people here today. No?
You see, Mahikari thing was, the person who started Mahikari was a realized soul, though not so well equipped. I met him before his realization. And he got realization, I think, through me only. Whatever it was. I do not want to claim anything like that. But the only thing is, he was not equipped, well equipped. Like anybody who gets here realization starts doing something. And his daughter, I think, misled the people, because she's not a realized soul. She became very money oriented. She started putting it. It's happened with everyone of them. But poor thing, this one was not, he just got a realization. He was not an incarnation also. You see, even incarnations who came on this earth like Christ, you see, like Muhammad Sahib, like Rama, Krishna, see, such great incarnations who were purest of pure. Even those people have been mishandled, and people have raised organizations which are just money-making propositions. Everything somehow man makes into money. I don't know how. It's something that happens to human beings, you see. Then they start giving talisman, this, that, cross, this. I mean, it's a money-making proposition throughout. So this is the trouble. What she said?
She said you're very right.
And you may lose lots of your powers, even ordinary normal powers, with this kind of wrong attitude, you see, or misguidance, because it happens like that. You can make mistakes, you can do so many things, I've seen people, one girl who I had given realization, she went to a lady who was a medium. She used to get ho like that and this thing, and she gave her a talisman, and she became actually blind. Now she's blind. Her eyes are open. I have to still cure her. But this is the report I've got about her.
Would you say the same of the Hare Krishna organization?
Oh, now you are pulling me into controversy. But I will tell you the other way round. You see, if you go on calling, say the name of anybody, even your name, would you like it? Then how can God like it? On the Oxford Street to stand up. You should see the sight. They even sell those things, you see, like wigs. They sell them like wigs in the market. They shave off, and sometimes they wear wigs. See, it's not show. It is something that has to happen within. It's not the show that you put up. It's something that has to happen. You see, most of them end up with throat cancer and very violent people. They are beggars, absolute parasites.
With Jaguars. With Jaguars.
With expensive cars.
You see, this is very nice. I met somebody in England, and I told him, what do you do here? He said, I deal in opium. I got a fright. I said, opium? How do you deal in opium? Other people's money. I said, that's very good. Other people's money. You see, you can float an enterprise. It's very easy because you are such seekers, such great seekers of ages, and you are so naive. Very good. You go anywhere, they'll take a square, sit there with saffron clothes, with some circus on. Another fellow will be fanning, oh, this one is very great, coming direct from Kashi. Then have nothing to do with horrible people. Kashi is one of the worst places now. So you all go and prostrate. This is what it is. Why are you enamored by these circuses? Aren't you fed up with them? We had a lady from Norway. This one was very interesting. She came to my house, stayed with me, very badly caught up. And she told me the story of a Lama who came to Norway. First he told all these Norwegians, you see, if I have to come to Norway, you have to make a place with a floor which has got all marble. Look at him. They are such parasites these Lamas are. First they have sucked the blood of these poor Tibetans, and now they were willing to suck the blood of these Norwegians. Now the poor young people, you see, I should say young people in the West are really not rich because their parents do not give them money the way we give our children, you see, so they starved themselves. They ate only potatoes and this and that, and for 1 year they starved themselves to create this floor for these horrible people. And this fellow came, you see, with his shaved head and all that. He stayed there. And this lady told me that she had to go and just bow to him 1,000 times for 3 months. 1,000 times, imagine, just to bow. As it is, will be finished. Even 3 times is sufficient to finish you off. And 3 months she did it. And with me she was arguing morning till evening. I said, look at that. You are arguing with me, eating my head off, and here you are bowing to him. They would not allow anybody to go near the Lama, the great, was sitting on the 7th step somewhere, hanging in the air. It's very common, the more you are missing from the scene, the more you are difficult to be seen, you see. It's something great. Oh, I have seen the glimpse of that horrible thing. That's what people think. You see, this is what they play upon you, emotional. What do you call them? Emotional? Blackmail. That's what it is. Oh, they will tell you, first of all, we call them chamchas, they're spoons. They'll come and tell you, oh, this is very difficult, he may not give you any interview. and you have to at least shell out 500 rupees. You see, it's not easy. It's very difficult. Only you should send your photograph with 500. All this nonsense. If you are the river Ganges, what can malign you, what can dirty you, what can make you impure? If you are here for purification, then nothing can impure you. One, two, three, four. Now the one who has not asked at all should ask. Yes, sir.
Yes.
It seems that over the years we have lost these powers of belief in ourselves. I think at one stage, like in the Egyptian era, that we had these powers. We believed totally in ourselves, and we were a whole piece. We didn't need to cling or to each other, or we didn't need to rely on each other so much. And I just wondered how we've lost these powers. Is it because the population is so big and because we have to cling together in cities?
The question is concerning the loss of powers within ourselves. Perhaps back in the days of Egypt, we had those powers. We seem to have lost our power to believe in ourselves.
I don't know even if that time you had those powers very much. But Egyptians indulged more on the ego side. You see, those who were rulers. And the slaves were on the left-hand side too much because they obeyed the rulers, you see. So the sensitivity came to them from spirits, not directly from themselves. And some of them were really very realized souls. And you'll be amazed. If these extreme cases are there, they understand an incarnation better. Say, if you are taking LSD too much, you will see only lights coming out of me. You won't see me. There are many who must have seen that. Auras and things. If you are on the right hand side, too much. If you are on the left hand side, you will be awed. You will be shaking before me. And you may see my previous births and you will be quite frightened because you know what it is. So, they understood the incarnations better. But evolutionary, you are much higher than they are. Though there is confusion because of so-called freedom you had, which you misused. But as a whole, I think this is the time for blossoming. Only thing you must know that you are a seeker, and you are a seeker, then you must get it. And if you get it, why should you be surprised? But it's like seeking has become like a fashion. Seeking here, seeking there, seeking there, seeking. You stop nowhere. You see, go on fixing the bolts. You see, you are just going on with an inertia. Even if you stop fixing, you still go on like that. It's like that. You see, it is a style you have developed of going from this to that, that to that, that to that, and you cannot stop it. Yes? Yeah.
The first one is, I'd be interested to know your opinion on the philosophy of Rudolf Steiner.
Your opinion on the philosophy of Rudolf Steiner.
And secondly,
What did he say?
And secondly,
I'd be interested to know your contact, if any, with the Papatak Sangha in India.
Papatak Sangha, or do you know this one in India?
Sangha?
All these are all people playing on boots and things. That's all I can say. What else?
Steiner is a modern educationalist and philosopher.
What does he say? I think Gregor has discussed it. What does he say?
It's discussed in the Advent. And
what does he say?
Well,
what does he say, this Steiner?
Oh, a million words.
A million words. Words and words and words.
No. Many good books.
Acha? What does he say?
His vibrations are very good, Mother.
Might be a realized soul, but what does he say?
I couldn't give you an example. I wouldn't want to just give you an example.
In gardening. He is an excellent gardener.
He's well known for his philosophies on education particularly, but his philosophies do encompass all aspects of life, which include medicine.
He might be a realized soul like Khalil Gibran is. You see, his vibrations are good. He might be, but still, you have to become realized souls. You see, reading that, even Zen is all that. Zen is everything is. nothing but his realization. But you will be amazed that the head of the Zen himself reads all Zen without being realized, and he's a hopeless fellow. I just talked to him, he said, oh, we cannot get realization. He's confirmed on that point. Imagine a Zen, the head of the Zen, saying that. And he said, we had Kashyapas, only 26 Kashyapas we had in 6 centuries, can you believe it? And he wouldn't take his realization, he was so frightened. He accepted me, all right. But he said, I am nowhere, mother, compared to you. I said, what is this? But I am telling you, you can get. So, it's good to read somebody who is a realized soul. But you better get it yourself. You become Steiner, all right?
Steiner catches on Agya and Swadhisthana.
Maybe. What I am saying, you become a realized soul and you can write about your own experiences. Yes, please.
Into the different other forms that are going on, I'd like to ask what's your opinion about
Daraji.
Daraji in Calcutta?
Dadaji.
In Calcutta.
He's arrested. He's already in jail.
Something we're talking about the same guy, surely.
No, he was in Pune where he was arrested, this Dadaji.
When was that?
This happened about, I think, I don't know, but I heard about. I don't know when it happened.
How Mrs. Gandhi
Huh?
or a state?
No, it was not because of any political thing. But they found some income tax things and all that and lots of, I don't know, I didn't pay much attention, but he's arrested, that I know. There's all sorts of things these are. You see, the best part of the whole thing is that all that is untruth is exposed gradually. Whatever things they may put up, whatever story they may put up, whatever they may try, they may entice you. You may be interested in them, whatever it is. But they themselves meet their end. Because all that is falsehood has an end and truth is endless. It is anant, it is eternal. The truth is eternal.
What do you see as the future of the United Nations?
What do you see as the future of the United Nations?
That's a tricky one.
You better tell them your husband is.
My husband is one of the Secretary Generals. I better not speak, all right? Let it be. We'll see about it. Work it out.
Yes.
Do you think,
Some tricks we have to play.
do you know of Krishnamurti at all?
Do you know of Krishnamurti?
Very much.
Thank you. Could you tell us,
He's another one. Krishnamurti is another blah blah blah. I'll tell you about Krishnamurti very well. You see what Krishnamurti does, he says this part what I say, that there are false gurus. But I don't say there are not real ones. If there is falsehood, if there is artificiality, there has to be real. If there are artificial flowers, there has to be a real flower too. So he negates you from the other side completely, and he puts up your ego by saying, oh, you can find it. So you are finished. He is a blind leading others into blindness.
I saw him personally, privately, and I asked him, why do you do what you do? And he said, does a rose ask why?
Does it?
He
said what?
saw him personally and asked him the question,
Why do you do what you do?
why do you do what you do? And he said,
Does a rose ask why?
does a rose ask why?
I mean, he has no awareness. Simple answer is as that. A rose has no awareness. By any chance, he is not a rose. He is just thorns. That's what I know. Those who have come from him have had very bad time, I must tell you. You see, they are really so depressed and so horrid. We had one architect, I mean, his life was finished. So many of them I've met. Horrible, they're very argumentative. The best example I'll give you about this, because you have brought forth. There was a fellow who came to see me. He's the grandson of his guru. His guru was, who was his guru? Krishnamurti. No, not Krishnamurti, another one. This Dadaji.
Yogananda?
No, Yogananda. Yogananda, the Kriya Yogis. See? He was the grandson of the Dadaji or something. No, Dadaji not something. Babaji. All Dadajis and Babajis are there. This Babaji. his grandson. You see, his Yogananda's guru was somebody else, and he was the son of this fellow, but the grandson of his guru. So the great grandson of Babaji. So the whole family was Kriya, and he did all the Kriya Yoga and everything he did. He went there and this, and he got so frightened. One day he happened to see this Krishnamurti, that there should be no, he said, no Kriya and all that, you see, and that you are your own guru and this and that. So he said, oh God, what have I been doing? So he gave up Kriya Yoga and he came to Mr. Krishnamurti. He said, I became such an expert that I spoke better than Krishnamurti could. And everybody was surprised. They said, the second Krishnamurti is coming out. I ran away from there. I said, now this thing that is happening to me. And he came to me. You'll be amazed, I have not been able to give him realization till today. I must tell you this. This he comes to me still often, very often he comes to me. I have not yet given him realization. Imagine the grandson of this Babaji has to bear, I don't know what things, poor things has been done to him. I'm very sorry for him.
Do you know of Rajneesh? I don't know.
He's the another horrible one. I mean, why do you need a guru for such a thing? You are masters. He's a fool. He doesn't know compared to what you know. But you see what you thought of, that inside you are human beings. You so feel guilty that we talk of sex with animals, sex with this, that. There's something lurking in you. There's something wrong in all this pervergence and homosexuality, this, that and all that. So you thought it's better to have a guru, at least he'll certify. But he is going to make you take 2 running jumps to go to hell, I tell you. Yes, he'll be just there, and he talks that you will go to bottomless pit. In the Bible, the bottomless pit is the hell. He says very honest in a way. He says so. He said you will go to bottomless pit. He has criticized Christ to such an extent that he says that Christ had bad relation with his own mother. Oh, to that extent. He said about Muhammad having bad relation with his daughter. All sorts of things he is talking. And people publish it. He's getting such a publicity. He pays money to people that they write against me. He's doing all kinds of things, and Indians don't like him at all. They hate him. They want him to get out. But he's so localized, he cannot smell a flower. And he calls himself Bhagwan. He's God. In the book, you see, anywhere you read any Indian book where they have described God, if the names of God, there are 1,000 names, supposing, of Vishnu or of the goddess or anything. At least 15 or 20 of them are that they are fond of flowers, they are fond of fragrance, they are fragrant, that they are fond of kamalas, they are champa, they are fond of this, that. All this is there, and this fellow cannot see. If you show a flower to him, he'll run away. He cannot bear to have any incense being burnt anywhere. When you go there, they see, and you can only put phenyl to go and see him. I think he's a bathroom cleaner, that's what he is. The way he is so much afraid. I don't know what he likes, the bathroom smell. And he does all dirty things, very dirty fellow. He's filthy. I don't want to tell you what he does, but I know what he does. That's why.
Could you explain the meaning of Satori and Samadhi?
That's Zen. You see, Zen Satori is the same as Samadhi, but it's you see the Zen were, as I told you, in 6 centuries were 26. And whatever they wrote, people never understood, you see. Because they were realized souls, some of them were born realized, some got realization. Now even when you will talk, people won't understand you. It's a very surprising thing. But it happens like that, because your language changes. Now they call it Satori, is a Samadhi. But it's not so clearly given. They could not explain so clearly about it, not talk to people. It's not so clear cut. Now in our Sahaja Yoga, we have first of all Nirvichar Samadhi. Samadhi means awareness. And Samadhi means enlightened awareness. Nirvichar means thoughtless. Thoughtless, enlightened awareness is first thing. It's clear. Sahaja Yoga is very clear cut, practical, every word of it, you see it so clearly. There's no vagueness about it. Even you'll understand Bible better, Zen better, everything better if you know Sahaja Yoga, because your eyes are open to it, alright? So the first thing is Nirvichar Samadhi. With Nirvichar Samadhi, when it crosses your Agya Chakra, you get Nirvichar. Means when your ego is pulled out. With that, you get powers. Like you see, if you become a deputy governor, you get powers. You become a governor, you get powers. The first power you get is curative powers. You get cured, and you can cure others. Many people whom I have cured are not Sahaja Yogis. They are useless people. Actually, I have given up curing people for the same reason, because they just come for cures, they get cured and lost. What's this of curing people who are not going to give the light? You see, you don't repair lights which are not going to work out. So it's a horrible stuff, you see, curing people, but you do cure. You start curing people automatically with raising the hands, not with spirits. There are another faith healers and all that nonsense is not there. Also, Kundalini can rise to a point with a person like that. But one should not stay at that point, must go higher. Because the movement on right and left, you start getting either supraconscious or your subconscious experiences, which can be very alluring, and you can be quite lost in them. You start seeing lights, you start seeing something different, you might see an aura around me. I mean, you see lots of things you may see as something else in my past. That should not be there. You should forget about it. You have to go to the airport to catch the plane, isn't it? So don't see all the things around. It's all not wanted. Many people get lost at that point when they stop at Agya. If you have concentrated here, this can happen more, because this is broken. Or if you have had this third eye business and all that, then you may go to the side. It can be quite dangerous. You see, if you use these your samadhi for some sort of a sensation. So you should not. I mean, all wise people should not use this movement at all. As far as possible, say, no, we don't want to see that. We don't want to have any supraconscious sensation and all that. Then you rise higher. And then you try to feel your silence in the limbic area. And you have to feel your vibrations coming out from your head. It is the vibrations when they are flowing, that's the best stage, when you have pierced through your Brahmarandra. So the second stage starts from Nirvikal Samadhi going into, which many of the Sahaja Yogis have achieved in Australia, is called as Nirvikalpa, where there is no doubts. You have no doubts left about Sahaja Yoga, you have no doubts left about yourself. It's a state. It's not that by mentally or rationally, but it's a state where you see it so clearly. It is white is white. You don't have to doubt that whether my eyes are showing white or black. You see, that state is reached, is called as Nirvikalpa, where there is no Vikalpa. You just go move steadily, and that's the best stage where you really grow faster, because you are so steady, and that stage must be achieved. So try to achieve that stage through negating things. By saying, not this, not this, not this. And you reach that stage. It's very clearly given. You see, the trouble is, so many of these books, which are so great, are never translated. People do not know about them. Now after coming to Sahaja Yoga, you will be exposed to them and you will see what truths there are and how Sahaja Yoga verifies it and proves it.
What impact or influence do you have on people who live with you who don't practice anything like
हम सब श्री माता जी की आरती के लिए खड़े होंगे. Now we'll all rise for आरती. सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना. जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी. दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना. सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना. जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी. दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना. जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार. विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा. तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना. सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना. जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी. दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना. जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको माँ, सुख ही मिला उसको. बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ. लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना. सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना. जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियाला, माँ कर दिया उजियाला। कल युग में माया है, कल युग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो, माँ मधुर संगीत सुन लो। हो सके जो सेवा, हो सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय। आज के ध्यान के लिए हम श्री माता जी का हृदय से धन्यवाद करते हैं. We thank Shri Mata Ji from the bottom of our hearts for today's meditation. Jai Shri Mata Ji.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello.
वर्दी बजाएं नदी या वही स्वामी जी को अलाप करके और स्वामी जी को अलाप करके